The first 7 seconds of a conversation, a meeting, or a pitch is crucial to gain the attention and the retention of your clients and colleagues. And 9 times out of 10, it's the voice which is the thing that connects. Hi, I'm Jimmy Cannon, singer and voice coach, nurturing confidence through the power of the voice to deliver your message with presence and authority. Whether you're speaking to a client, a colleague, or a friend, we only have a few seconds to make that initial connection. The tone of your voice will tell the person you're speaking to whether you and what you're saying is genuine. Also, whether you have a sympathetic ear. And more importantly, whether you can be trusted. Now, what is tone of voice? The tone of the voice is the timbre, the character of your voice. It's the harmonics. It's the resonance. The tone of your voice can give away clues such as nerves, your intentions, and empathy. A warmer, more engaging tone will pacify and connect with your audience, whether they're clients, colleagues, or friends. I'd like to show you 3 exercises that will help you be heard. Now, before I share with you these 3 tips, consider subscribing. I make weekly videos on tips and exercises about helping you communicate through the power of your voice. Now, these exercises that I'm going to show you are going to help you find a more of a chest resonance, which will be more sympathetic to your listener. Exercise number 1 is about energizing your fricatives. Before you do that, have a click on the video above and make sure, if you haven't already, that you watch my videos or video on breathing exercises. You need to make sure that you're breathing correctly from the abdominal muscles and using your diaphragm in the right place. So make sure that you're relaxing your belly as you breathe in. And I want to use some fricatives. Now, we're going to use 3 fricatives. And fricatives are your tongue, your teeth, your soft palate, and your lips. And we use those to create words, create the language that we use to communicate. So using a VW, which is the V, and what we do is we put the top teeth on the bottom lip to make a V sound. Do that for me. V. It's like sort of revving a motorbike, and I always imagine that I'm on a big Harley Davidson. So V, V, V. Now, as we're making the sound here, we're pushing the diaphragm up. And this is accessing our chest resonance here. So if you want to, put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. I'll just stand up a little bit so you can see me here. And we're going to make sure that this is pushing in and up. And I want you to feel the vibration here. It's not actually vibrating or resonating from here. It's more of a somatic feeling or response. It's phonating the sound from your larynx, your vocal tract, but it's you can physically feel it as well. So from here, which is your chest cavity here. Okay, so let's try that again. Do it quite fast. I'm enjoying that too much. Let's try another fricative. So we'll try Z and Z. So let's do a Z. So it's just making an S sound, but we're making an S shape, but we're making a sound. So like Z's. Z. This is a bit tighter. Z. Now a Z with me. So we've got V, Z, and Z. Now just do that for 30 seconds each day, and you'll find that you can access and you can feel more of a lower, more engaging tone. One way of finding a more open sound, a more engaging, more sympathetic, empathic sound to your voice is making sure that you've got an open throat. Now, exercise 2 is really just to practice making that open throat. Now, what I want you to do is imagine that we're at the moment, if you're in England, it's not too bad today. It's quite clement, but it's been very cold. Although a client of mine in Canada said to me recently that, yeah, Jimmy, that's nothing in comparison to the temperature that she doesn't speak like that particularly, at the temperature that we've got here, which is, I think, was -20 or going down to -50, which I've been to Kazakhstan, which is probably the coldest place I've been. and that was pretty cold. I'm thinking that was about minus 15. Anyway, I'm rambling on about temperature. So imagine that it's cold and you want to warm your hands up with a warm breath. So see my glass is steaming up. Okay. Now the difference between making a warm sound and a cold sound is that when try making a cold sound, so you're cooling up your hands, and now a hot sound or a warm, not sound, sorry, warm air, is that your throat when you're making warm air is nice and open and relaxed. And that's generally the sound, the placement or the shape that you want your throat, your larynx to be in when you're speaking. So if I make my throat nice and open, you can hear the difference. It's much more resonant. It's much more, I'm also pushing here and supporting the breath. It's much more of an open sound. And to practice this, it's very, very simple. We just make a ha sound. So what I want you to do is sigh out with that warm breath, making sure that your throat is very open at the back. Think of an ah shape, okay? So nice and open. Your tongue is flat at the back. Ah. But I want you to do it just as a breath first. So just a breath first. Nice sigh. And just let it into a voice sound. So we're just going to make a sigh. Start with the breath. Now this is an aspirate onset. We're not stopping the air with a glottal. We're just making it nice and open with the breath first. Now it uses a lot of air. With me. As you're doing that, just put your hand on your chest. And just tap it slightly. Can you feel that there? Can you hear that? Can you feel the vibrations? Can you feel it? Can you see what it's doing? Good. Okay, exercise number 3 is using our bilabials. Basically, our bilabials are our lips working together. Both lips here. So words or letters like B or P are bilabials. They start with the lips together. B. So this is, again, creating some subglottal pressure, which I don't think I've mentioned before in this video. And it's really just making sure that the air is supported and you're creating some pressure just behind the lips in the mouth here. So take a breath and close your mouth and imagine that you're going to say the word Bible off the top of my head. Okay, here we go. Bible. But before you say the word, make sure there's a lot of pressure. Just try that with me. Bible, but before any word that has a B, but before, try a P, perspective, perspex, plot, plot, plop, plip plop, flip flop, not flip, plip plop. Try that. Right, I'm going to get you to do some singing. Here's some singing. We're going to use a B and a P. These are both bilabials, and we're going to sing a 5-note scale. Anybody can do this. Here we go. Ba 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 ba. Feel that resonance. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Now if you've got a piano handy, ba. Nearly a C. Ba 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 ba. We're going to go up into semitones. Ba 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 ba. This is not a singing lesson. This is a speaking lesson. Ba 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 ba. We're going to go up. Ba 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 ba. And change it to P. Pa 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 pa. Really work those bilabials, the lips. Pa 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 pa. Make sure there's enough subglottal pressure. Pa pa pa. Basically, loads of air in just behind the lips. Pa 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 pa. Pa ba 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 ba. Pa ba 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 ba. Pa ba 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 ba. Now, here's a video I made about vocal registers and changing your pitch pattern. So have a look at have a look up there for that video if that's interesting to you, about really what it should be, because it's going to change and make a wider variety of pitch and tone by using different pitch levels and inflections and registers. So again, hope you found those 3 exercises helpful, and do subscribe to the channel. I would love to give you loads of information, loads of tips. If you'd like to work with me, or your team would like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, do get in touch. My email is at the bottom of the comment section. Do comment, subscribe, like. I will see you soon. No obligation. Speak soon. Be heard.